My Lords, I rise briefly to support the amendment in the name of my noble friend Baroness Eaton. And I've listened very carefully to what my noble friend the Minister said about the protections and safeguards that are offered by the abortion, the NHS and the system of abortion provision to young people. But it did seem to me that those safeguards related principally to children, pregnant women, pregnant children, up to the age of 16. And there is a gap here, because the age of 18 is important in this debate, and it doesn't seem to be covered. As the noble Lord Morrow said, it was only, I think, last night that there was an opposition amendment which said that in the case of refugees, child refugees, the government must give priority to the best interests of the child. And as I recall, that amendment was passed. It's now back in the bill. But child was defined in the amendment as a person under the age of 18, not 16, but 18. So the best interests of the refugee child must take priority, but the best interests of the pregnant child are not even mentioned anywhere in the amendment. And then we come, if I recall correctly, only last week, we were debating a private member's bill, but one which I believe had government support, that would raise the permitted age of marriage to 18. Now, marriage is a natural law right, the right to marry. It's also arguably a convention right, because it's a right to a family life. But we correctly are allowed to moderate how that right is implemented and effected by putting age restrictions on it. And we may decide that 16 is an appropriate age, we may decide 18 is an appropriate age. These are all perfectly legitimate decisions to make. But if our movement is in the direction of saying 18 is the age at which you should be allowed to marry, then it seems to me that there's a huge gap here in this amendment, the Amendment M, part of Motion M, that my noble friend Lady Eaton is doing her best to correct. Now, I regret that she has said she isn't going to move to a vote, so I'm left by asking my noble friend the Minister if, when he replies, he could explain to me what it is the government sees as being the means of safeguarding pregnant children between the ages of 16 and 18, who are children who are regarded so carefully in relation to other types of protection which are debated in this House and command widespread cross-party support, but seem to have fallen through the traps here.